Okay, so let's go ahead and derive the general formula for a parabola today. Okay, so let's start by sketching a parabola. Okay, let's put this parabola in the first quadrant without loss of generality and make our lives a little bit less complicated. Now the definition, okay, of a parabola, okay, is the locus of points such that there's equidistance between any of the points between a fixed line called the directrix and a focus. Okay, so there's our focus. Let's go ahead and sketch in our parabola here like so. Okay, so for any point here, let's put it right here, I suppose. These two are going to be congruent, those two distances, okay? So for any point, and we'll just define a generic point here, x comma y. Okay, now one thing we need to establish is the vertex of the parabola itself. This vertex is typically denoted h comma k, so let's go ahead and put that in there. Okay. Well, this focus is going to have the same x-coordinate as the vertex, but it's going to be shifted up by the value of the focus inside. So we'll call it k plus f, f for focus. Okay. This necessarily, then, this directrix line is going to have to be y equals k minus f. Okay, and the reason is because, of course, this distance is going to have to be equidistant to this distance so that the definition of the parabola is satisfied. Okay, again, the definition of a parabola is a locus of points such that any point in the locus is equidistant to a focus and a directrix line. Okay, we know we're talking about a right angle of approach right there. Okay, very good. So we'll call this D1, we'll call this D2, and we're going to go ahead and set this up using the distance formula. Okay, so D1 is equal to D2 in order for this to work. And let's identify this point right here. Okay, clearly it's going to have an x-coordinate of x, and it's going to have a y-coordinate of k minus f, since it falls right on that line, directrix line. Okay, very good. So what is D1? Well, it's simply going to be square root of h minus x, okay, quantity squared, plus k plus f minus y, quantity squared, okay, equals, all right, D2. What's D2? Well, it's the square root of x minus x, quantity squared, okay, plus k minus f minus y, quantity squared. Okay, there we go. So quickly examining our work to make sure we haven't committed any careless mistakes. Okay, looks good to me. Okay, so let's go ahead and square both sides, and that's quite simple. We just take the radical away, and we're going to get the following. And obviously this is going to be 0. Okay. And let's go ahead and expand. Okay, I'm going to actually keep this as it is. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need this, but I'm going to write it as, rather than h minus x quantity squared, I'm going to write it as x minus h quantity squared, which is the same thing. I can just take a negative 1 out of this if I prefer. If I take a negative 1 out of this, it's going to be x minus h, but negative 1 squared is 1. So again, those are the same thing. Okay. Keeping this as it is in this form for strategic reasons. Let's zoom out here. And let's go ahead and expand. So this expanded becomes the following. Okay. And then the right-hand side, it's going to give us the following. Okay, let's quickly examine our work, make sure we haven't committed any careless mistakes here. Okay. Left-hand side looks good. And then the right-hand side, that's almost done. Also looks good. All right. So clearly we can subtract a k squared from both sides. We can subtract a y squared from both sides. We can subtract an f squared from both sides. We can add ky to both sides. We can add ky to both sides again. Okay. Very good. So left-hand side is going to give us x minus h quantity squared. Here we've got fk and fk that will combine to make 2fk. But I can actually add an fk 2 times from the right-hand side over to get plus 4fk. Okay, so we've accounted for those terms there. Now, interestingly, I can also subtract fy 2 times over to the left-hand side, or add fy 2 times over to the right-hand side. Let's go ahead and add fy 2 times over to the right-hand side. That's going to give me a 4fy over there. Okay, so we can see that those 4 terms now have been accounted for. Of course, this has been accounted for too. Okay. Much easier to look at this, quite frankly. Much, much easier to look at this. Let's go ahead and subtract 4fk over to the right-hand side. Okay, so let's just do that. So we're going to have x minus h, all quantity squared, is equal to 4fy minus 4fk. Okay. And that's the same thing as x minus h all squared is equal to, well, we can take a 4f out, and that's going to give us a y minus k here, isn't it? Okay. Let's now divide both sides by 4f. That's going to give us x minus h quantity squared over 4f is equal to y minus k. And the form that we're accustomed to seeing is y is equal to x minus h quantity squared over 4f is equal, plus k. There you go. Some people wonder why we call it a quadratic. Quad means 4. Well, here's why. There's a 4 down here. Maybe you didn't know that. Now you do. Okay, that is a general formula. If you have this value f, notice it's shifted to the right by h, and it's shifted up by k. That's, I suppose, what we would expect it to be. So if it were centered at the origin, it would just be x squared over 4f. Okay, very good. Now you know how that works. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. We always appreciate recommendations for future content. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you in the next video.